What's going on, everyone? Vince the Lawn Engineer here. Welcome to the 2022 lawn care season. Super excited. I also wanted to share with you, for those who haven't been following me on Instagram, TikTok, I moved. I no longer have that beautiful perennial ryegrass lawn. We moved from Pennsylvania to New Jersey back in August of 2021. And although I did do some limited work on the lawn at the end of last season, I really ran out of time. I couldn't really do what I would have wanted to do, which would have been a full renovation, because that required a lot of planning, and we really just focused on moving into the house and getting settled in. But I did do some weed control. I did do an overseed, and I did have some help because I really couldn't do it myself. So this season, getting started here, we have lots of problems. So I kind of want to use this video to kind of document what it's like to start with a crappy lawn. And then throughout the year, we're going to be improving things. We're going to be addressing the weed issues. We're going to be putting down our fertilizer applications. And at the end of the year, I do plan on doing a full renovation. So let me share with you the situation we have going on here. And I hope that you follow along. I hope that you like this video. I hope that you subscribe if you stumbled upon this video. Thanks for joining. Welcome. Really hope that these videos help everyone out there, because there are a lot of people coming into lawns just like this, these really crappy lawns that have never been taken care of. This one in particular, I know, has not been taken care of for the past 7 years, because the home we purchased was vacant for like 6 or 7 years. So nothing has been done here for that much time. So it needs some love. We're going to take care of it, and I want you to join me through that journey. So follow along and let's get started here. Let me show you around. All right, so let's start with the front yard here. Lots of work needed everywhere, actually, but this is really going to be the space that is considered mine. And what I mean by that is we just got a dog, and and between the dog and the kids, they're really going to have what they want in the backyard. Whatever they want to do back there, that's going to be for them. But the front yard is going to be mine. I can do whatever I want here, and that is where we are going to be spending most of the time when it comes to the lawn care. Also, it's going to be more manageable for me. I'm a believer in caring for what you can manage. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people contact me and say, hey, I've got an acre of land. How can I make it look great? And if you've got the time, the equipment, and the money to care for an acre of land, good for you. I can't do that. So what I sometimes will tell people is like, hey, look, you don't need to care for all 1 acre of that land. Pick an area, pick that $100 view, pick what's most important, and just focus on making that look great. So for us here, that's going to be the front yard. And it's manageable. It's only about just under 3,000 square feet when you consider all this area here and the little bit of area over here up to the fence. So that's where we're going to spend most of our effort throughout this season. In the back, it will be very limited, mostly because we do have a dog now and we have 2 kids, and I just don't want to do too much back there. I'll let them run around and do whatever they want back there. We also have some work planned for back there where we want to maybe put in a deck and do some additional work, put in a garden and all that stuff. So that's another reason why I don't want to spend a whole lot of time and effort and money redoing the yard if it's just going to get ripped up while we're doing some of these other projects. So everything in the front yard is going to be fully renovated. And I'll do that in the fall. I like doing renovations in the fall. I'm not saying that you can't do it in the spring. You can. People do it and people are successful. But it does require a different level of care in the spring than it does at the end of summer or the early fall. And that's because when you do a renovation in the spring, you have to do it early enough to protect from that summer heat. And that requires more watering and just more care, more attention to the grass to get it established and mature, so that it doesn't burn out in that summer heat. So throughout the season, we will be doing a broadcast weed application. We do have some weeds popping up, including some dandelions, we have clover, we have Poa annua. I also have Poa trivialis, which that's going to be something we'll address later on, amongst a whole bunch of other weeds. So this actually warrants a broadcast application for everything. We'll do that a little bit later on because we're just coming into the spring season and you really want to address the weed issues when they are actively growing. Here's an area right over here that was cleared out. I'm not sure if you can see it well on camera here, but you can kind of see where I attempted to do an overseed. Now I'm going to have to completely redo this and bring some dirt in and level it out. I don't think I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to just keep it like that for now. But this was an area that had a whole bunch of English ivy, had some trees. So there were some of the stumps there that were ground out. That one they didn't really do a good job of grinding out. So I have to take care of that one over there. But this was an area that didn't really receive much care. So another thing I just want to bring up too is, although, you know, I have plans to do some of this stuff later, I may also make a game time decision, and depending on if I've got the time, if the weather's right, you know, I may go ahead and do, you know, like a renovation over here where it was, you know, where there were trees and English ivy. I may fill that in this season. You know, I just my initial plan is to do it in the fall, but there's a possibility if I've got the time, I'll do it sooner than that. So, you know, just keep following along. My plans change continuously, just like anybody else's plans. You know, this is my situation, and some of you probably have a similar situation. I do work full time, I've got a family, and I can't dedicate all of the time to the lawn, right? Just like some of you. So, you know, this is me sharing my situation, hoping to help you take advantage of whatever time you have to get stuff done in the yard. This is not something that is going to be turned around overnight. It's not even going to be turned around in a couple weeks. This takes time. It takes dedication. You have to be willing to invest that time and effort to really turn these things around. So, you know, we're gonna go through it throughout the season here together, and I hope you join along. And this is the backyard. You know, it needs a lot of work as well, just like the front yard does. But like I was saying, this is really going to be dedicated for the kids and to the dog. So we have it all fenced in so the dog can't run out. We also cleared out a few trees. So like you can see kind of over here in this area, over there, that far back corner, we had a big monster tree over here and a few trees over there. We did clear all that stuff out. I just got to be careful where I'm walking. There's a lot of dog crap around here. But all this was cleared out. A lot of the trees were rotted, they were dead, they were full of termites. So it just made sense to take them down. We did plant a few river birches in place of the trees we took down. But yeah, this is what it's like back here. You know, I'll share some footage so you can see what all the weeds look like back here and what the situation is back here. But like I was saying, like this is my situation. Just bought this house. We did very limited work back here. We did do an overseed, but I didn't follow up with any weed treatments afterwards other than the initial tenacity application. It did a good job of eliminating most of the Kyllinga, and really my goal for doing that overseed application was really to create a situation where I could at least enjoy the mow, because when it was all Kyllinga back here, it was absolutely terrible, and you know, mowing was not very enjoyable. And coming from such a nice yard like I had in Pennsylvania, quite honestly, it was a little depressing. So I wanted something that I could at least enjoy mowing. So we did put down some seed. That was a turf type tall fescue and Kentucky bluegrass mix. That was a 90-10 mix, 90% turf type tall fescue, 10% Kentucky bluegrass. I chose that because it was that does a little bit better in moist environments than perennial ryegrass. And back here we've got a little bit of a swampy situation, you know, kind of in this area between where these two trees used to be. I think it's a seasonal high water table, and this is just total like swampland. It was almost all winter long, it was swampy, and even in the beginning of spring here, it was swampy. And then whenever we have a rain event, you know, it holds on to quite a bit of water for quite some time and doesn't really drain. The soils are sandy soils. It's like a sandy loam. So it should be relatively well draining. But when I dug a hole to plant these trees, I would dig that hole and about 2 minutes later come back, it was completely full of water. And that was when we didn't even have rain for a couple of days. So we do have a shallow groundwater condition. I do think it's a seasonal high groundwater condition, just coming right out of winter and into the spring. Yeah, that's what's going on. This is our situation. Again, you may be in a very similar situation that I'm in. So I'm gonna do my best to turn this stuff around. Now, maybe not so much in the backyard because I've got, you know, like I said, the kids and the dog, and this is gonna be basically their play space. So what I do back here is gonna be very limited. But in the front yard, that's all mine. I'm gonna do everything I can to make that look amazing, and I really would love for you to follow along so you can see what I've done and hopefully learn something to be able to do it for yourself. So that's gonna do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Don't hesitate to ask any questions. I do my best to answer all the questions. Just leave a comment below. I'll do my best to answer it for you. I always strive to help people out and answer those questions, even if I don't know the answer to those questions, because I'm not a turf pro. Even if I don't know the answers to that, I will do my best to find an answer for you. So please, if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. Thank you so much for joining.